I'm Mike Hayne, and I'm talking to you. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd. (2024). Tuesday. Time 6:30 p.m. Temperature 104 degrees at 6:30 p.m. September 3rd. Sorry. This is extremely difficult merely because I'm in a beautiful nursing home. Beautiful. But I'm 70 years old and I've been through a ringer. That's what makes it so difficult. Not only that, but the people, some of the people here are mental patients. Maybe it's hospice for some. I don't have any friends or family. And I'm 70 years old, and you continue to get battered, bashed by everyone you meet. I never believed in a class system, even though I was the best intellectually in my studies. And since I've been living in Las Vegas since 2018, I've decided that I have no choice. I have to believe in a class system. And the people you meet on the streets and in the lower areas, the felons, they are vicious. Wow. They can think, they can talk, they can interact, they can make plans. They are dangerous and vicious. So, I need money. I need people to somehow donate money to my website. I've got to sell some of my books. And what basically happened to me, I'm totally alone. This is a beautiful place. You couldn't imagine a more beautiful place to end your time than this nursing home. This is high-class Las Vegas, and I'm the poorest one of all. And I believe it's a blessing. I tried to be good since 1967, when I was 13, a confirmed Catholic. I believed in God, I prayed, and there's a lot to that story too. And before he died, Einstein said he thought there was some kind of higher power, and he was trying to write an equation for it, Einstein, and he couldn't do it. Maslow said in his hierarchies of needs, the hierarchy of needs you go through during the stages of his life. First is food, then safety, then family, then meaning, and then when you're 60, you reach self-actualization. And that's like where they're singing, "What a wonderful world it is," and the guy's just leaning back. But Maslow, who wrote that hierarchy, he called it the hierarchy of needs, he said he thought there was something higher, which would be called transcendence, but he couldn't prove it, so he didn't put it in these hierarchy of needs. Einstein tried to write a formula about it. Hey, how come when you're walking over here and you need a job, and right at that moment somebody has hung a shingle out saying help wanted? How come when you get off the landing craft at D-Day, where 9,000 men died, soldiers, 9,000 on the beach dead over a 3-day period, how come when you got off and ran up there with your gun, the bullet went right by your head? Before he died, Carl Sagan, one of the greatest scientists there was, an astronomer, he said that at the end of the universe, way out there where the Hubble spaceship is going, way out there, 1 billion miles away, he said that at the end of the universe, they don't even think there's atoms out there. And then Bill O'Reilly, in his book, one of his books, he said, it might have been one of his reports that he gives on TV, but he said, I think it was in one of the books, the universe started as an acorn-sized thing, and then the Big Bang Theory, and it's expanding faster than the speed of light. So if you were going the speed of light towards the end of the universe, you wouldn't reach it, because it's going faster than the speed of light. And it began with something the size of an acorn in nothingness. So it's 10,000 years of human history, from the ancient hieroglyphics written on the walls of the pyramids, little birds and lines and things, and they actually mean something, all the way to now, 10,000 years of human history. The smartest people have believed in God. So I end up here, and it's a blessing. I'm grateful every day, one day at a time, because it's September 3rd, Tuesday, 2024, and it really could be coming. It's called the carrying capacity of the land. Don't listen to anyone that says you should be having children and then getting out some kind of creepy formula. Well, there won't be enough workers to pay into. That's all stupid. That doesn't mean anything. Okay? Don't listen to them. You should not be having children. The Bible says, woe to they who have children in those days. So I'm talking about crime. Death Valley, California, 120 miles to the west of the first city on the edge of the desert, Las Vegas. Las Vegas means the meadows in Spanish, and it's water. 60 miles to the west of here, on the border of Nevada, in the desert, is a town called Pahrump, P-A-H-R-U-M-P. And in Native American, that means place of the water. And then 60 miles beyond that, or 120 miles from here, this beautiful nursing home in Las Vegas, 120 miles to the west of here, is Furnace Creek. There's actually water coming up in the middle of the desert. The desert is hundreds of square miles of flat, dry, arid land. And I lived there from 1995 until 2017, 22 years. And I did my writing. I always did my writing. And we had phone lines hooked up to our rooms, dormitory rooms. And I bought a Dell computer. My credit was 730. My driving record in 2012 was perfect. From 1970 to 2012. My credit was 730. I had a good job. The rent was only $100 a month to live in the dormitory. Now that's called a company town. And normally you say a company town is illegal. You don't work and live where you work, but because it was so remote, and it's the national park, Death Valley National Park, that's where I wrote my novel, Into the Ground. That's the great American novel. And for the past 50 years, everyone I've known, even my father probably, thought they could be suave and walking around at a party holding a martini, and they're tall and handsome. I'm the great author. Well, I did it, my friend. Into the Ground by Mike Hayne. The first one was Into the Ground, published in 2009 by Infinity Self-Publishing, and I used the name Mike Rogers, my Catholic name. Since 1967 until now, I still remember the Apostles' Creed. And I haven't been to Catholic Church since 1967. It has been 57 years since my last confession. Mike Rogers, because I was watching a TV show called Roy Rogers. And the Monsignor, he took me up by surprise. He said, "You're now a confirmed Catholic. What do you want your name to be?" I didn't know. I said, Mike Rogers. Okay, so these things have to be less than 15 minutes. So I'm trying to set some general groundwork here. Death Valley, California, 120 miles to the west of here. In 2012, I had already been working since 1995, and I was doing well. I had a new car, paid off, a Toyota Corolla. I was the only one that driving. It's all highway driving. Had a good air conditioner. Was really in good shape. Perfect driving record until the criminals, the gangs, staged little car fender benders so they could steal from the insurance. It's crazy. Whatever they're thinking is nuts. And somebody put, it was the 4 p.m. shift at Death Valley in the employee dining room. And I've got a coffee. I made fresh coffee, and I got a coffee and put it here by my register. Then I went to do a few more things before I opened the door for the employees to come in and eat. Somebody put OxyContin. And there were people in my drink, and so we were already seeing people dying. The North Rim, it's called, of the Grand Canyon. The South Rim is the Grand Canyon National Park people like to visit, but there's a North Rim. Oh, he fell over and had a seizure in the employee dining room and died. He was 60 years old. No relatives, kind of a pervert, I guess, or something. Okay, so take the body away, you know, cremate it or whatever they do. I'm totally alone because since 1967, I've always lived by the principles of good and right. And that got me totally alone in the world. But to this beautiful place, and now I have a dozen people around me, and even the workers. So I can die here in a sort of like a very nice setting, but it's really not fair, because over and over again I was battered by the other people, so-called competing in the universities, in the schools, everywhere. And it's ridiculous. So I almost died in the university. They life-flighted me. $25,000 in a helicopter, 120 miles from the Death Valley to University Medical Center, to the 5th floor emergency room. And I died from an overdose of OxyContin. And there's a big story there. I'm almost done here. I have to do this story again. And I'm running out of money. I'm not going to have the videos online. Because you got to pay $6.99 to photos to hold in the cloud, your videos. And or $12 to Vimeo to hold your. So I'm going to lose it all. And that's, but when you think about World War III might be coming anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. Beautiful Tuesday night, September 3rd, in the desert, in a beautiful nursing home. And I got to talk more about that, where I died and came back to life.